Mankind settles the Middle East, Asia, Australia, and Europe. As we spread out, a slight shift of the Earth's axis away from the sun cools the planet. Average temperatures drop up to 14 degrees. A third of the planet under ice. Mile-high glaciers advance across northern Asia and Europe. And now hardship makes us who we are. Just a few hundred miles from the glacier wall, in what will become modern-day France, a family survives in the harshest climate mankind has known.
Extreme cold is like a living thing. It sort of sneaks around and finds you where you're weakest. It's going to seep up from the floor. It's going to come in from all angles and just crush you.
We devise new technologies to help keep us alive. But our world is as treacherous as ever. Nature's perfect killing machine. Top speed, 35 miles per hour. Their jaws bite with 1,500 pounds of force per square inch. Enough to shatter bones. Wolves are ruthlessly efficient pack hunters, just like us. In this frozen world, mankind makes a great leap forward. Fire turns caves into homes. We sharpen animal bones into the first needles and make tailored clothes for the first time.
Clothing for us is fashion, but for a man in the Ice Age, you have to keep your skin warm. You have to maintain a microclimate against your skin. And if you don't, you start to fall apart.
On the walls of the cave, the most uniquely human invention of all, images of our lives and our world, some of the first works of art.
They're saying, I lived. Well, I had a sense of my own identity. I am somebody. That's really the beginning of humans moving farther and farther away from our animal roots into a new kind of creature.
It might have been the first example of individuality. We know we survived that period, but it's good to see tangible physical evidence of that.
Few wolves have genes that make them tamer than the rest. The ancestors of all the dogs alive today.
The first initial contact was probably made by wolves who were looking to exploit a new food source, who were able to, stand being near people long enough to eat what was being thrown in the scrap heap behind the cave.
Our Ice Age enemy becomes man's best friend.
He can hunt at night. He can hunt by sound. He can hunt by smell. He can hear the reindeer over the horizon hours before you'll even become aware of their presence. But it's an unbeatable combination. Humans and dogs together, nothing can stop them.
As ice grips the planet, mankind pushes onward. Against all odds, we flourish. Then, the planet starts to warm again. By 10,000 BC, the human population reaches 1 million. Snow turns to rain. 400 generations ago, in the Middle East, a woman whose name we'll never know nurtures into life the future of humanity. Scientists call her our farming mother. What she invents changes the pace of the human story. It gives rise to cities, new technology, science, and empires, but also crime, poverty, disease, and war. 10,000 years ago, in the fertile hills of the Middle East, an idea gives birth to the world we live in today. Ice Age snow turns to summer rain. Earth is the only known planet where water exists in liquid form, covering more than 70% of the globe, and essential for life. While men hunt, women gather wild grains. Nearly half a ton of seeds from 1 acre of grass. Every calorie spent gathering yields 50 in return. People settle around rich sources of food, now in groups of 60 or more. And 10,000 years ago, one woman makes a breakthrough. The foundation of our modern world. Discarded seeds take root in the garbage. It gives her an idea. She plants her best seeds in a fertile patch of land.
Planting the first seed is the first step towards civilization. They can take the landscape and use it to their advantage, more of a guarantee that they and their children will survive.
She tends the seeds, weeds and waters them. The world's first farmer. Now, an acre of land can feed 100 times as many people as hunting and gathering.
Farming is a game changer. This is the difference between there being only a few million humans on the planet and there being billions of humans on the planet.
A new crop conquers the globe. Wheat. From a single 60-pound bushel, 70 loaves of bread. By 3000 BC, farming reaches southern England, creating a blueprint for the future. The village. Mankind's first settled communities. And a new figure, the leader. Smart, outspoken, charismatic. The first farm animals, pigs, sheep, goats, cattle. It's a turning point. Within 1,000 years, most domesticated animals we have today have been tamed for human use. Taming and breeding other animals is the key to the growth of our population. But farming also opens up a new battlefront against mankind's most enduring enemy, disease.
So many of the common diseases we fear the most, syphilis, tuberculosis, smallpox, bubonic plague, they came because of our living in proximity with animals.
With hard work and a restricted diet, we become less healthy and shorter. The average man is only 5 foot 3 inches tall. Women, only 5 feet. And owning land gives birth to a new enemy. Each other. In the neighboring village, crops have failed.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been hungry, but when you get hungry, it takes over your mind in an incredible way. You start having, olfactory hallucinations. You start smelling things that aren't there. You can't think of anything else. You can't talk about anything else. You'll get together with your friends and talk for 4 hours about the next meal. Eventually you get to cannibalism. You'll eat your friends. I mean, it will take over.
Down to yours versus mine. That's my land. I worked hard for that land. I put my time, my effort, my energy into that land. I've learned how to cultivate it. I've learned how to manage it through the seasons. And if you come in here to try and steal it from me, to take it from me, especially without my consent, I have to do something about it, or I'm dead.
The birth of warfare. One in 10 skeletons from early farming folk show signs of violence. A farmer can expect to die 5 years before our hunter-gatherer ancestors. With farming life comes another leap for mankind, new ways of mourning, and the beginnings of organized religion. On a plain in southern England, a monument to those we have lost. Stonehenge. Belief in the afterlife inspires inspires some of mankind's greatest engineering projects.
All right, we'll get to the pyramids on Monday. All right, at this point, what I need you to